here at CN8 like the number 8, which incidentally is supposed to be good luck in China, the home of the 2008 Olympics. Well, it's certainly been a lucky number for Michael Phelps, who, as you know, won 8 gold medals in swimming, an unprecedented accomplishment in one Olympics. But does that make him the world's best athlete, the best of all time, or does it land him in the top 10? Well, I'm Lynn Doyle, and that's our topic of debate and discussion in this half hour. We're glad to have you with us. If you'd like to join in and tell us what you think, maybe list your own top 10 or tell us who you think is the world's greatest athlete of all time, you can email me, you can take our web poll, or you can give me a call. The telephone lines are open. It's toll free from wherever you're watching. It is the focus of our web poll at cn8.tv. Let's check in and see what you're telling us thus far. Is Michael Phelps the best athlete ever? Well, 50% say yes, 50% say no, and not one of you think he belongs to be in the top 10? I mean, top 5? That's why it's there. It's non-scientific. You can tell us what you think. I'm going to go back to our audience here, give you an opportunity to weigh in. So let's talk with Lisa and hear what she has to say. Lisa, good to have you with us this half hour.
Hi, Lynn. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. What do you think about this guy, Michael Phelps? Something else, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he's pretty incredible. He really is. I mean, he just was amazing watching him every night and swimming and just checking out all of his world records. It was pretty cool. Is he the best athlete? No, as other people have commented. I think that there is a lot of other ones, old school, that go way back 25 years. Then there's ones 5, 10 years ago. But I think he will be a household name for quite a while.
Oh, absolutely. Just like Mark Spitz became a household name back there in 1972. We all had that poster with the 7 medals around his chest and the little Speedo. I remember those days. You know, he looks a lot different now. I don't know if anybody else noticed that. He's going to be a household name. But she mentioned something about old school, and I want you guys to comment on that because there's been some criticism that he holds these records now, but he's had a lot of technological help that wasn't available to someone like a Mark Spitz in '72. The whole controversy about whether they should be able to wear the suits the way they did and you know, the nutrition and everything. Is it warranted or is it just a sign of the times?
Well, I think there are 2 points. One is that Michael Phelps has these advantages, but all his competitors who he's swimming against had the same advantages they wanted. And the second is that 30, 40, 50 years ago, there wasn't the media, you know, there wasn't the exposure, but there also wasn't that pressure. Michael Phelps didn't come in here as an underdog. He said, you're supposed to win and break Mark Spitz's record, and at that point, you know, he hadn't swum his first event yet, and so there's all this pressure, the internet, the television, the media, shows like this, and he went on and he did it, and not only did he do it, but he got in that zone, and I don't know him like Maddie does, but it's not like this is your normal guy that you would hang out with, and he gets in that zone and he does it time and time and time and time again. You
know, I'm so glad that you mentioned that. And Jeff, I want you to weigh in on this for me because, you know, we were talking about the pressure that came along with the media coverage. And there were times that I almost felt like, you know, we were going to be disappointed if he ended with 6 or 7 gold medals. Like, it wasn't in perspective that, oh my gosh, that alone is an amazing accomplishment. But because of all the buildup with television and the press and oh, he has to do this, I kind of felt like it was almost unfair to him at some point.
Yeah, and that's simply the world in which we live. I think the thing that's always been amazing to me about a guy like Michael Jordan or a guy like Tiger Woods and now Michael Phelps is not only did they have these big dreams and huge expectations from everyone, but they actually went out and lived up to them. You don't see that happen all the time anymore. And when you look at Michael Phelps at the beginning of the games, I saw in a lot of interviews, he was playing the old, well, that's kind of a media invention that I'm going after 8 gold medals. That's just kind of the way it falls, and I'm just hoping to do my best. Well, we find out later as he was speaking to Bob Costas last night that he and his coach have had this list of accomplishments they wanted to tick off one by one for a very, very long time. So even though he was savvy enough to play the, shucks, I'm just hoping to do my best, deep inside, he and his coach had a plan, and they went to attack it, and he got it done, and that's pretty impressive in and of itself.
Yeah, I think if I were him, I would probably have done the same thing, though. I wouldn't want to boast that, hey, I'm definitely going to have this accomplishment at the end of the games, and then have that tape replayed over and over and over again. Much like the Frenchmen who said they were going to smash the Americans.
But from a training standpoint, that's something you can absolutely do is you can take those goals and you basically use a concept called periodization where you're setting up a plan that can go back 4 years and you can work directly towards those goals so that you're peaking at exactly the right time. And that's all training and experience, and the fact that his relationship with his coach is so close. They've been working together as a team for so long. Like Maddie was saying, he keeps putting the training in the bank. He's been doing it for years and years. Now you have this, athlete that has done everything right and has the genetics to back it up.
Lisa, thanks so much for your call. Any other comments you wanted to make for us?
I agree with what he was just saying, because he was very goal-oriented, and I just think it was pretty awesome that, he kept on going to a higher level every time he was out there, and when he got focused, he was so in the zone, and every time when he got up on that, podium there, he was just like, wow, this is incredible, and I did it again, and I think we were all, focused on, is he going to match Mark's fit? Is he going to get it? We were really, psyched. And I know I was at home going, yeah, go, go, go.
Yeah, I was talking to the TV myself. I'm like, please do it.
I was going crazy.
All right, Jeff?
Yeah, one of the things that Tiger Woods and Michael Phelps all have in common, this goes back to exactly what Peter was talking about and what Corey was talking about. They had imagination. Not only did they have a plan, but they imagined these goals. From the time Tiger Woods was 11, 12 years old, he had a picture of Jack Nicklaus up on his wall, and he listed all the majors that Nicklaus won, how many tournaments he had won. In his mind, he had already decided he was going to be a great golfer, so great that he was going to chase Jack Nicklaus. Somewhere along the line, at an early age, Michael Phelps and his coach, and as Maddie said, he bought into it. They had a plan, and he had it in his mind that he had the ability and the wherewithal to imagine that I can win 8 gold medals, maybe not all the time, but by the time he won back in 2004, they started to think about 8 gold medals. They had the imagination, the plan, the drive. It was carefully orchestrated step by step, as the panel has been saying, and I think Michael Jordan was the very same way. People had a plan in their mind. As outrageous as it sounds, to think to yourself, if you're Tiger Woods, I'm going to break Jack Nicklaus' record one day, I'm going to beat Mark Spitz one day. They had this plan and the imagination to pull it off, and I think that's the part that people forget about.
You know what? I could have a plan from here to California. I could say I want to break this record. You have to have that that talent and that physical strength in order to do that. And as Maddie pointed out, he has that discipline that goes along with it as well. And anybody else that you have competed with or trained with that comes anywhere near Michael Phelps?
Well, I think we're establishing through all of the comments this level, this tier that great athletes in all different sports rise above. So we have the Jesse Owens and the Mark Spitz and the Michael Phelps, and within the swimming community there's been several throughout the years who have reached that high level. Janet Evans, she held a world record for 20 years and it just got broken. So there are great athletes. It's impossible to say there's the greatest, but I think within those, what makes them great is they've transcended their sport and they brought it mainstream. And Michael Jordan did it with basketball. Michael Phelps is doing it with swimming. Lance Armstrong did it with cycling. And it's this is a level that people reach, and there's few who do it. I don't think you can say there's just one.
Okay, Lisa, thanks so much. We appreciate your call. Let's hear now from Carol. Hey, Carol, it's your call.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Okay, fine.
Have you been watching these Olympics?
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah, it was good to actually have someone to kind of root for, because up until this, I wasn't really all that keen on them. Were you?
Yeah, really. No, he is fantastic. There's no getting away from it. He's great as far as being the greatest athlete.
Right.
Maybe in the next 2 Olympics he will be. But there's so many people before him that are.
Somebody come to mind?
Jim Thorpe. There's so many. Eric Heiden.
Yeah, we haven't talked
Mark
about
Spitz.
the
I mean,
winter.
there's so many.
Right.
And it's like impossible.
And you know what's going to happen? As soon as you get off the air or the show goes off, about 5 people are going to come to mind. Because what happens, right? What happens is when you start to think about this, and that's what was happening when we were doing the script today, it's like all of a sudden, hey, what about this one? What about that one? What about, another one?
So many in all sports.
But see, it's